ora, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ellie, and today, instead of doing a crafting video because I just haven't had time with Easter and going away and being busy, I thought I would do a quarterly check-in. So at the beginning of this year I did a video about my crafting wish list. I think I called it my textile wish list for the year, and I've been busy and I actually have done like F all from that wish list, oopsies, but I've been busy. So I'm going to talk to you about the things from that wish list that I've made, my progress on them, and also chat to you about what I've also done, sort of. This will be just like a video with little pictures. I apologise if the background's a little bit noisy. I'm hopefully going to be able to cut some of that out. I live on a main road, what am I going to do? So let's start off with my 2026 wish list. So my knitting wish list, I had a few projects on there. I had 4 projects on there. The first one is the Coupler jumper, which if you've seen one of my other recent videos, I did finish it. However, I'm going to be remaking it. Here's some terrible screenshots. It was just too big for me. Currently it is being used as my cat's bed. She sleeps on it. Well, actually no, I think I have removed it from her, but she was for a good 2 weeks there. So that was cool. I don't know what happened there. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. I did finish it technically. And the other one I finished is the Rita, sorry. And that is a vest, and I love it. I wear it. Actually, I finished it maybe 2 weeks ago and I've worn it like 5 times. So in love with it. It's perfect. It's everything I could have wanted, and it's purple. So yeah, I'm happy I finished that. The projects I haven't thought about, started on, you know, it's not, I mean it's only a quarter into the year, so I'm not like behind, is the Tivoli from 52 Weeks of Easy Knits, and then also the Sophie hood. I have not even thought about. I haven't bought the pattern. I'm really trying not to use patterns, especially because I actually ended up buying 52 Weeks of Easy Knits, so that cost me some money. I am trying to utilize things I have for free. And saying that, there is a jumper I want to make, so the cloud jumper or something from Petite Knits, so we'll buy that at some point. I think when I buy that I'll also buy the Sophie hood. So yeah, anyway, that's my knitting update. For my sewing, this is probably my biggest list, and the one where I haven't done that much with. I actually haven't done a lot of sewing this year, to be honest. I've done a few little things, and then I just recently banged out a big project in a week. Here's everything I haven't done. Sorry if I look done. So the Tate romper, I bought the fabric for, and then I didn't have enough fabric because I bought the wrong width. So I ended up making a dress with that. I do plan on buying some different fabric for the Tate jumper. For the Tate romper. Gosh, I keep saying jumper. But I haven't done that yet because I'm trying not to spend money. So that is my main reason. The bow bag, which is also done by the same pattern person, have not even thought about, to be honest. I have printed the pattern, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it, so I haven't made it. And that's the same with the crescent body bag. I just haven't been making bags, so that's kind of the reason why they haven't progressed any further. The Aura pinafore I had planned on making recently, but then I just got too overwhelmed. So that is on my list to do at some point in the next few months because I'd love it for winter. And same with the breastfeeding dress. I mean, I don't need it because I'm not pregnant or anything, so it's on my list of things I'd love to make because we want to have another kid in the next year or so. But that's sort of the lowest on the priorities. I just really want to make it, so then I've got it before I forget and it's too late. And then the 2 that I have actually done, the patchwork dress, which is the one I recently finished. I'm absolutely in love with it. It's like honestly my favorite dress so far. I do think I want to add a collar to it at some point, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a lot of effort for me to think about that. And the other one is the sheer dress, which is the one I made for Laneway, which I did a whole video on. So if you want to check that one out, you can. So I feel like sewing, I haven't done that much, but I've done some projects. I've done projects that were on my list, so I'm kind of happy. And I have other projects on like my extra list of things I want to make, but I think at the end of the day my plans for 2026 are more using up what I have and ideally doing the things I want to do, but not forcing myself to do them if I'm not feeling like it. So that's why I haven't really done any bags, but I will. And I really want to do the Tate romper. I'm in this weird spot where I can't decide what to do. And then moving on to crochet, this one here, I've been really slow at crochet this year. I mean, I've put a lot of time into knitting. Obviously I've finished a few knitting pieces, and I'm actually realizing I find granny squares really boring. On top of that, I decided to pick up a huge project, so instead of doing the Persian tiles blanket, which I was going to do and I still want to do at some point, I just don't know if I'll get to this year, so it might be off my list completely. I decided to try make every single square from the Ultimate Granny Square source book. I was planning on making every single square from that book this year, and then quickly became really overwhelmed and decided that I didn't want to just make every square for the sake of making every square. I didn't want to turn every square into a blanket, because that would be a kind of not great blanket for me. I don't need another blanket either. I decided I would make projects with it, so I do have a few projects on the go. Like this one here, this is the Spike square and the Beauty and Excellence square. So this leads into another thing. The vest that I have, the Granny Square vest, on my list of ones I want to make, I'm using that square, well, these two squares from that book to make. So instead of focusing on the Persian tiles blanket, I've decided to focus on this other book, but I got overwhelmed, so instead I'm just trying to make every square from that book at some point, but instead focusing on making projects with it. Does that make sense? Anyway, so this is one of the projects I wanted to make on my actual crochet list, which is a Granny Square vest, which I'm working on. I'm actively working on it. This is my current crochet project, but in saying that, it's really boring and I'm kind of over it, and I've got to make like 25 squares, so they're going back over there. But I have been working on it sporadically. I took it with me to my last crafting workshop that I do. I do like a monthly crafting meetup. So, well, I don't do it, I just go to it. And so yeah, I'm glad that I've took that, and I will be taking it again for this month's one. I also have my Granny Square dress I'd love to make, and I've picked out a square from the book that I want to do, which I'm going to leave a little secret for now, but I do plan on making it in a cotton yarn. I'm sort of ideally having it for next summer, sorry, for cotton, hence cotton. So I've picked out the yarn I want to use, which some of it is a project I undid, and the other yarn I had to buy, and I did buy it eventually. It's a black cotton, although it's more of a grey. I just haven't started doing it because I'm trying to finish this project first. So, you know, better to not put more whips on your plate than to do 10 million whips, which I feel like I am doing right now. The other thing I had on my crochet list was Eleanor, my daughter's vest. I do want to use one of the squares from the book as well for this, as I mentioned in my video at the beginning of this year. I just haven't done it yet. So that's where that is. And like I said, the last project that was on my crochet list was the Persian tiles blanket, which I've decided to delay in order to do this other big project. So yeah, I feel like I'm doing well overall. I mean, that's, I don't know how many projects is, I didn't count, but I think I've done about a quarter of them, which kind of lines up with the quarter of this year. So proud of that. Other things that are on my current whip list, as I should say, is because I wanted to also talk about the things I'm currently working on, what I've finished, how much I've spent, all that little stuff. So I am currently working on a few other projects. I have one other project actually, now that I say that. I've been working on the Sydney sweater by Crochet by Sky for my husband Byron. I haven't made him a jumper since just before our daughter was born, so I've decided to make him another one. And I'm using this yarn here, which is a random blue scrap yarn, well not scrap, it's a random blue cone I had, plus another blue yarn that I had. I've mixed them together, and so I'm actively working on that right now. But when I say that, I haven't really done anything for 2 weeks with it, so I've just really been into the sewing for the last week because I smashed out a sewing project. So yeah, I'm working on that for my husband, and then I'm also planning on finishing a few of my whips. I think I might do a whip video. I feel like I do them all the time, but I'm gonna do a whip video where I try smash through a few of my whips, especially while Byron is away for work, because when he's away for work I'm not obliged to hang out with him. Therefore, in the evening after my daughter goes to bed, I can just do as much sewing, crocheting, knitting as I want. So while he's away, which will be the video after this, I'm going to focus on getting through some whips. I'm now going to talk about how much I spent, and I just want to mention this is like my only hobby is crafting, so I'm actually kind of proud of myself, to be honest, for not spending that much. I do have a child, I own a house, and I work full time, so obviously, you know. In the first 3 months of the year, I spent $229.42, which feels like a lot. It's about $100 a month, but $50 of that was on a gift card, so not too bad. It is more than I wanted to spend. I wish I would spend like $50 max per month. I think I just been a bit crazy. I did buy a new crochet hook because I needed a new one for a certain size. Bought some fabric, I bought some yarn. But this month, April, I'm resetting. I'm focusing on things I already have. So I finished 11 projects, which I'm pretty proud about. So the projects I finished, I'm going to rapid fire through them. Okay, now we're going to talk about the projects I have finished so far this year. So in January I finished 3 projects, and that is my Valentine's Day scarf, my reading blanket, and my knitting pouch. Sorry, I was trying to remember what they were. This is my knitting pouch. I made some mistakes in it though, so it's not perfect, and I honestly barely use it. So I'd like to remake it or make something better, but it was a great experiment for the first time, and it was self-drafted, so I'm proud of that. At least I looked at patterns online and I thought I can do that myself, and I did. For February, I finished 4 projects. I did the daisy chain top with my best friend Nicolette. We did a project together. I did my laneway dress and my pansy bucket hat at the same time. And then the other one I finished was, oh, the lightly toasted cardigan for my daughter, which I thought turned out really cute. And I want to make an adult version for myself one day. I just don't know what I want to make it with yarn wise, so it's on hold. So in March I finished 5 projects, which I think is pretty good. I did the flower square bag, which was a random project. It was using 2 squares from the Making Every Square from this book this year project thing I'm doing. Kind of random though, I don't really need it. I'm not sure what to do with this bag, so it's just sitting in my room so far. Finished the Coupler jumper, which obviously was a fail, so I'm gonna have to go back on that one. Finished the Rite vest. I finished the knit look bow top, which was a pattern test for Chloe's Crafty Life. That pattern I think will be out soon, so you should go check that out. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a free pattern or a really low cost pattern. Really fun. I'm going to actually make one for a friend, which I'm excited for. And then the other thing I finished was the Jo March check dress, which was obviously what I made instead of the tape romper, so I'm really happy with that. And in total I finished 15 skeins of yarn. It's kind of hard for me to track because this thing here is a skein to me, this thing here is a skein to me. I've got this basket of scraps and I'm sort of counting 3 scraps as 1 skein because that's sort of how big they are. And I have finished quite a few of these from making different squares and stuff, but it's a hard one, so I'm not quite sure, you know, where I'm at. I think I'm going to try better in April, May, June to track the skeins I finish, because I kind of forgot a few times to note it down. So maybe I need to track it on my phone more or something. I don't know. I kind of track it in a Milanote and then try to remember. I also have this book here. This book here, which I want to also touch on during this video, is my crafting book for this year. So I have a bingo which I got from Coast to Coast. I think they're a yarn company. It's a crafting bingo. And so I'm doing things on here, and in saying that I should mention I've finished 5 things from here, which is pretty good. 6? 5 or 6. And then it's got each project that I'm working on a different page. Boring stuff, but it's where I have all my little notes and things like that. And then at the very back I have, gosh, I thought it was in a better spot, but apparently not, the yarn I've finished. But I got confused, so I'm gonna say that I finished 15 skeins, which includes a few scrap yarns, and that's where I'm ending for March. Hopefully in April, May, June I can finish more. I would just love to not get rid of all my yarn. I kind of want to, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get rid of my yarn, but I'm kind of hoping that I can just rebuy the things I want, you know. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I hope this made sense, and I hope that you guys have been doing lots of crafting too. Tell me what you've been up to this year. Have you finished any projects? Are you doing well? Obviously everyone finishes projects at a different rate. I spend all my free time crafting. That's just the gist of things. I spend all my time sewing, knitting, crocheting, lunch breaks, in between when my daughter's playing, after work, before work when I can. Like, it's my life, obviously, while working full time. So I know that I can get projects finished more than the average person who also works and doesn't craft as a full-time job. But I'd love to craft more. It's my happy place. So yeah, tell me how you guys are going, and do you have any big goals for this year? Are you smashing your goals, or you feel like you're behind? It's okay, because we're only a quarter way into the year, so you don't have to feel like you're smashing them yet. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I will see you guys all next time in 2 weeks with another video. Ka kite anō.